Hey, it is an unstoppable day. It's your boy, Terrence, the Unstoppable Coach Leffridge, and we are here with another episode of Gratitude, a 30-day video challenge. Yes, over the next 30 days, we are going to be showering the universe with an attitude of gratitude, helping you to focus more on what you're able to do and less on what's stopping you as we continue to spread this gratitude message across the universe, hoping to move all this negativity off out of the way and open up a dialogue of positivity. So thank you for joining us. I'm glad you're watching us live, or even if you're watching us in the replay, that's okay. We want you to like, share, and also comment it because we're talking about some fabulous gratitude stories. Now, if you've been following me over these 30 days, sometimes I come on by myself and share my gratitude story, but I really like it when I can bring other guests onto the show that can share their gratitude story. And today's episode is no different. Today we have with us my good friend Angela Etling. She is Eltling joining us. I got to get that right. She is joining us to share her gratitude story, and I think you're going to enjoy this gratitude story. So let's welcome Angela. Hey, Angela, how are you?
Terrence, how are you doing?
I am unstoppable. How about you?
I am unstoppable as well. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you for taking out some of your time to share your gratitude story here on Unstoppable Thoughts. So, before we jump into it, why don't you just take a couple of seconds, introduce yourself to the audience, and then we'll jump into your gratitude story, okay?
Okay. Well, hello everyone. I am Angie Elting and I'm the founding director of Rugger Wellness. That's right, Rugger as a player. Basically, my company enhances people's health by sharing healthy techniques to enhance one's immune system, to help prevent any concerns that one has for preventing their body from obtaining the optimal health, as well as enhancing one's generational wealth and financial outlook. Now, as I mentioned, that I was a rugby player. I'm from Japan and lived in Japan for most of my life. And I played rugby. I started in the United States, but also in Japan. And from that experience, I was a part of a Japanese rugby team. Actually, I was a representative as a rugby player on the Japan national team, and once captained the team, the sevens team, to win the Asian qualifier to become the top seed in the Women's Sevens World Cup in Dubai in 2009. Unfortunately, I was injured at that Asian qualifier, but I was able to continue to captain and motivate the team alongside with my coach, continue to train with them as they prepare for the World Cup several months later. But I continue to play rugby in support. Actually, kind of semi-retired playing a couple of years ago in my ripe old age or ripe young age. But I love sports, so that's part of what I do.
Wow, that is a fantastic, amazing story, and I love the tie-in between what you loved to do then and what you're doing right now. So, Angela, let's talk about your gratitude story. What are you grateful for today?
Well, Terrence, I'm grateful for community. Now, I've always been a part of community, whether it's a whether it's family, friends, the military, schools, sports, whether it's school religious activities, whether it's being work, with a network, entrepreneurship, having a sense of community really unites us. And being a part of that community has really helped me to feel as if I'm part of a greater self, right? Part of a greater universe. And it's allowed me to really connect with people, help me to reach my goals, and also make connections, deep connections with people, supporting one another, and even being introduced to people that I never thought I'd ever meet around the world, such as yourself.
Okay. That's a beautiful thing. Yeah, community is definitely important, and the ability to commune with others. Community and relationship go hand in hand, as far as I'm concerned, because we were all created for relationship, and we were created for relationship within our communities, whether it's in our family community, whether it's in our uh, city community, whether it's in our national or universal community. And now, with what we've been going through in this year, it's the social media community. But
Absolutely.
all of that has a relationship factor, and it's what's allowing us to do things that we never even thought we'd be able to do before this community became so popular. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. I absolutely agree because even when I think about it, pretty much most of my life, I've always been a part of a community, even at this time where I'm with an organization and you're a part of an organizational structure. Uh, and that structure comes from or comes a part of being there is this environment that you're in. So whether you're at work, you're in an office environment, playing sports, you're playing in a gym, you're playing on a sporting field. In rugby, we call it a pitch. So, everything starts and stops there, and from beyond there, it stems out from those connections. But when I notice about, especially this year, now being a part of this COVID community, right? So now we're having to break out of our comfort zone and we have to relearn to reconnect. And it's actually helped us to become deeper and greater in connection with people because now we've had to revert to or rely on whether using social media to do so, whether it's making more phone calls because you can't meet face to face, but then you reconnect and reunite with people that you hadn't connected in a long while, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think there's a number of things that come as benefits to being community, but I want to ask you first before I say that.
Sure.
What has being in community done for you?
It's actually helped me to learn more about myself. It's a lot of self growth. It's also helped to boost my confidence and connect with people that I have lost touch with, connecting with more family members than I had before, or reaching out to friends across the world. Being a part of a military community, my father being Air Force, lived most of my life in Japan and United States, but primarily in Japan. So Japan has always been home for me. And the people that I have been connected with, my schoolmates, reuniting with them on a yearly basis, really, in connection with social media. But because I've had those experiences of meeting those people and we have those connections, it's amazing that this is such a small world. It's so vast, but it's small that even in that military community that I grew up with, I still run into people from my past almost everywhere I go. There's a connection somewhere that I've met. I can even tell you I have one person in particular in my lifetime that I met in three different places. As
Wow.
a child, even as a adult, twice, in different locations. And it's like, wow, that's quite unheard of. But the military did that for me. Being in the military has done that for me as well, being stationed overseas in Japan. And of course, everybody's coming from all over the world. And then we go to our respective homes or next duty stations, and we reacquaint each other. We learn more about their families. We become a part of their family. So, really, I've always been a part of some family, some community. So, I never really felt alone. Never felt alone. And, being a part of some type of organization, even if it's a sport or an activity, I always feel like we always have the same mission, right? And one team, one fight, but we are many in body, but one in mind. So I always feel connected with them. That no matter where I went, even if I decided to play rugby and pick up and play at a different team. For example, when I came here to Washington, D.C., I had played rugby. I had been living in Japan for 20 years, Played rugby there for about 15 years. Came here to DC and was thinking, hey, I think I want to reconnect and play some rugby. I was only playing a little bit before I left Japan at that time. And just to kind of get back into the groove, maybe playing every now and then. And I had remembered that there was an acquaintance in Japan at the time who had played, who came back to the States, lived in DC, and played with the team. So I couldn't find her on Facebook, but I could put things together and was able to find the team in hopes maybe I could reconnect her, but I really wasn't sure. But you know what? That first day that I met with the team to practice, guess who I ran into? I ran,
Her.
I ran into her. I was like, oh gosh. And then we were just sharing things, but little things like that. You never really know. Really never really know who you will connect back with or connect to. You know, um, any time, right? So it's like it's just so embracing, and I just love it. So I never feel like I'm alone because I always know people wherever I go, even though I may not be searching for them.
That's a beautiful statement, and I love what you said about the community earlier, where you said, uh, "Even though we are many, we are of one mind." And I think that is the great definition of community. Whether you are in a small community, whether you're in a large community, whether you're in a community of believers, whether you're in a community of inspirers, whatever that is, having like-minded people come together to commune together for one specific cause or purpose, it's just a beautiful thing. And we have Brenda Ringwood from Kansas. She's watching us. Hey, Brenda. She says she grew up as an Army brat, so she could definitely relate to
Absolutely.
your military experiences. So thanks, Brenda, for watching. Go ahead, continue to drop those comments in, and like and share this gratitude moment that we're having with Angela Etling. So, what I also wanted to say is that community, there's strength in community. There's also comfort in
Mhm.
community. There's also the ability to grow within a community as well. So there's so many positive benefits to being in community that I know I myself I'm grateful for, and as you've said that you're grateful for as well. But for those people who may not had that experience of community, what would you say to them now about getting involved in their communities?
Well, I know that each person has some type of interest. And this is something that I had shared with when I was in the military, being stationed in Japan. And because I had the privilege of living in Japan even in my youth, I was able to share a lot of experiences and explore. And many people coming to Japan for the very first time, of course, they were very, very scared. But I always tell them, you have I know that you have some type of interest. Explore that interest even beyond the gates of the base, and really there's something there for you. There's always a community available for you. Sometimes you just have to reach out. Now it's easier with social media. All you have to do is type in, right? Just your interest. That's what I did with the rugby team here in DC. All I did was look for rugby teams in DC. It was that easy, right? And because I had remembered that team name, I was able to connect with them and go from there. But if you everybody has some type of interest, take that interest one step further and find a community you you will belong to, that you will feel a part of and become a part of that family, because that family is seeking out, but you have to take that first step. You have to take that. It's
Great advice. We're talking to Angela Elting. She is grateful for community. And you have created a community of your own, a community of wellness called Rugger Wellness. Tell us a little bit more about that.
so with Rugger Wellness, I'm part of a Japanese company, and we basically share the products that we have, and they're all health and wellness products. They are of quality grade, and helping us to stay healthy, maintain our immune system. Even if for those of us that may have ailments, it'll assist with those ailments as well. Even those who want to maintain their health, such as myself, it helps me to maintain my health so I can protect myself, especially during this virus times. But other than that, we're always trying to find ways to keep ourselves healthy. So since I was a kid, I've always played sports. So I utilize the experience of sports, the training I have done, and preparing for all those sports that I have played. I still continue to play whatever sports that I can. Up to COVID, I was playing some volleyball, playing some
Okay.
volleyball. I did that even when I was in Japan while I was playing other sports. So I'm a multi sport gal, I don't stay with just one. Um, because every sport helps me to prepare myself for each and every sport that I'm involved in. So I take everything that I've learned. So whether it's exercise, whether it's nutrition, and I seek out even from other sources to find the right combinations, the um, that becomes effective, and just share those with other people in need. One of the things that I've been doing even lately is I've been posting on Facebook about doing 100 abs. And, people may think, oh, you're doing like 100 crunches every day. It's like, oh, no, I don't. I don't do no crunch whatsoever because they're very ineffective and they really hurt your body more than make it better, right? But
Right.
I remember a friend, was asking me, "Hey, I want to try to work out, but I'm not sure what to do." And I said, "Oh, I'd be happy to work out with you." It's like, "Oh, no, 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 that might be too much for you." I said, "No, I'd be happy to help to work with you because it'll get me back into shape. It'll help me to motivate you, to motivate me, and we can do this together." See, we've kind of created
In community.
ourselves, right? But that 100 abs, I introduced that you do it every day. Basically, it's 10 ab exercises, whether you're laying down, sitting in a chair, or even standing up. So something as simple as here we are sitting in a chair and you can kind of bend forward, right?
Mhm.
That calls it even a crunch. You can bend forward, do that 10 times. Just contract your abs in doing it. It doesn't hurt, does it?
No.
Nope. And
And sometimes you don't even recognize you're doing it.
you don't even recognize you're doing it. And you're just doing it 10 times. Because think about it, which is easier, sounds easier, feels easier to do, 10 or 100?
10.
10, right.
Right.
So if you do 10 of 10 exercises, so now we're targeting all over our abs. We're doing the front, the top, the bottom, the sides, the back, right? Because our whole entire core. When we keep our core stable and strong, it helps to maintain our body and our soul strong as well. So just doing 10 of 10 exercises, it's easy to do. You can easily do it even while you're in bed, right? But you're thinking, well, the bed is too soft. But yes, but our body is kind of soft too when we first start. Before we can become this hardcore body, we have
Right.
a soft core body. So,
Right.
so before we do that, we have to transition. So start off in the comfort of your own comfortable bed. So you're going to roll out of bed, so roll over 10 times. And your core in the process, right? You
You
know,
just gave some people some epiphanies right
it,
there. Some aha moments.
you
That's
can kind of sit up and just come up 10 times. Well, you've done 10 right there. If you lift your legs, right, doing leg lifts, that's 10 right there. If you alternate, that's 10 right there. There's
yeah,
different ways to alternate. Turn to the side, do the same thing. Well, you've done 10 right before you rolled out of bed.
absolutely. That's some great stuff.
How,
And
how
so
simple.
if they want to get more information about those, simplicity makes the biggest impact if you really think about it. Some
Absolutely.
we spend a lot of time looking for complex ways to
Mhm.
solve simple problems, and if we just use simple ways for simple problems, we'd find ourselves going a lot faster and a lot
Mhm.
farther. So
And
thank
it's
you for sharing that with you. I'm,
yeah,
I'm grateful for you sharing those tidbits with us,
very, very,
Angie. So
absolutely.
Angie, if they want to get more information about Rugger Wellness, or if they just want to talk more with you about those simple tools and techniques that you use for your wellness, how can they do that?
They can reach me at Facebook. You can just find me, just type in my name, Angela Elting, or at Instagram at Angie Rugger, or you can email me at angie4npusa@gmail.com.
Great. And we're going to keep that information up on the screen. Angie, I appreciate you. I am glad that you are one of the new people that I've met during this time of social community. And I'm so glad that we can continue to connect and be in community with each other as we move forward. So thank you for sharing your gratitude story with us today.
Thank you too, Terrence, and I'm grateful for you and grateful for this opportunity.
That's Angela Elting, and she is grateful for community. And when you break down the word community, it is the ITY, which just means making something possible. And then it's the word commune. So community is the possibility of communing. It's in commune with each other. And that's something that we should all be grateful for. The ability to commune with others is a phenomenal opportunity for you, whether it's a small community or a larger community or a universal community like we have with social media. Doesn't matter, it's just possible. And you should definitely partake and be grateful for community. And I'm grateful for you guys who are watching us, who watch us live or watch us replay on Gratitude, a 30-day video challenge. So if you want to be like Angie and be a part of this gratitude story during these 30-day video challenges, you got two ways to do it. You can just, number one, put in the comments, like Angie did, that I want to share my hashtag gratitude story. And we'll reach out to you and make that possible. But maybe you don't have the flowing locks like Angie has. Maybe you don't have the beautiful smile from years of community like she does. And you don't want to come on camera. Well, that's cool too. You can just email me your gratitude story by simply emailing me at tleffridge@unstoppablecoaching.com. tleffridge@unstoppablecoaching.com. 1 to 2 paragraphs about your gratitude story. Because even though I want to read your story, I ain't got all day. So do that, and then we will share your story during one of our upcoming episodes. It's gratitude, y'all, a 30-day video challenge. And it doesn't matter when you do it, it doesn't matter how you do it. It just matters, like we say down here, down south, that you do it. Because your gratitude story may be the prescription to somebody's headache. Your gratitude story may be the difference between someone being alone this holiday season or between someone taking that first step to engage in community. And wouldn't that be an unstoppable thought?
Mm.
Absolutely. I'm Terrence, the unstoppable Coach Leffridge. And as always, no matter wherever you are in the world today, you know what I say. Don't just make it a great day. Go out and share your gratitude story and make it an unstoppable day. Take care.